Hello, everyone. To those just tuning in, welcome. To those who've been checking out sessions throughout the day, welcome back. We hope you're enjoying the content and looking forward to more awesome presentations coming up. A big thank you to our partners and speakers for helping us deliver a fantastic program. A quick reminder to join our Slack channel to interact with other attendees and join selected speakers for Q&A. You can find the link in the menu at the top of this page. Happy viewing.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our presentation with the title Lean Product Development and How to Succeed in Crazy Times. Welcome to the Product Lab Festival, which takes place online. Let's see how we all deal with that situation, but we are really looking forward of that tech scenario here for making that Zoom conference. So who we are. My name is Oliver. I'm the CPO of GetNow, and this is John Robert, who will take over in a part here in the presentation.
Thank you very much, Oliver. My name is John Robert. I'm working for Wacker Chemicals, responsible for digital commerce. I'm very happy to share some insights about Corona and how we are dealing with this with you later.
So we came up with the title of Lean Product Development in Crazy Situations. The crazy situation is obviously COVID-19, and everybody is aware of that, we assume. We summarized some topics, what changed in that situation, what makes it crazy. First, I think we're all aware of that, endless Zoom conferences. Everybody's at home, we have to use Zoom or other softwares, but we are constantly in video software and video conferences, crazy things. On the other hand side, we have some rapid user changes, behavioral changes. People are behaving totally crazy. They buy toilet paper until the end of their lives. So totally changing, nobody would be aware of that. On the other hand side, we have an increase of daily active users. Take the example of Zoom, which was increasing rapidly because everybody starts using that software, which brings it to the totally new situation. And that leads us to the point that we need product improvements or adjustments based on that situation, which is totally crazy again. And maybe some of you know that we have some screaming kids in the background or other circumstances which makes it crazy, and we have to deal with that. This brings us to the question, and where John Robert will take over. John Robert.
Thank you very much, Oliver. So what distinguishes products between success and failure? So this is a basic question we want to answer today. So it's very simple to be answered. It's a product market fit. Some of you might know it from Eric Ries's Lean Startup. Yeah, so there he is calling it product market fit or short PMF. But what does this mean to have the product market fit? Well, let's take a look into some examples. So if we take a look to Germany, we are here analyzed their search volume for certain products. So take a look to the telephone headsets on the left. So the search volume increased by 900% just within 1 week. Dumbbells increased by more than 2,000% and board games more than 100%. So I guess that a lot of you now have dumbbells at home. Yeah, you must have had already your telephone headset or your board game at home. So this user behavior changed, and definitely this product had a good product market fit because there was a special need, a certain specific need, which needs to be matched rapidly. So what is product market fit? So you see here on the left side, desirability. So there is a consumer or user behavior change, and they have a certain desirability. So with a home office, you suddenly needed a webcam or a telephone headset. But for sure, you also need to consider the feasibility. Are you able to provide a headset, a telephone headset, or what could you basically deliver in order to serve the needs of the customer, the desirability? And for sure, it's about the viability. The viability about, can you do business with this? Can you earn money? Can you make real money out of this business situation? So how often do you think is product market fit changing? So Amazon, who is very successful in these times, is changing every 11.6 seconds their website. So you can rapidly, constantly change your product market fit in order to match the user and user needs. So how can you do this? What is the process behind it? So what can you do to guarantee a good product market fit? Well, the process behind is very simple. We would like to elaborate it to you briefly. It's a combination of 4 methods. It's a combination of design thinking, which is defining a clear need, which has a vision and a hypothesis, and which is combining between design thinking, lean UX, agile, and growth hacking. So what you see here in the middle is once you have defined the clear need and the vision for your product, you're going into the exploration phase. You're prototyping, you're getting customer feedback, and you try to get a good initial product market fit. After this, you're going to build it and you're going into the loop, but you're not only going into a loop, you're going into an infinity loop. So after you build your first product, you're going to your target customer, you're identifying your growth channels, you're enhancing your offer or product, yeah, and you're measuring your success by innovation accounting. So by following this infinity loop between build, explore, prototype, feedback, and going to the target customers, product enhancement and innovation accounting, you can guarantee a good product market fit. Well, so much to the theory. It's always about the people behind. So which kind of people do you need in order to guarantee a good product market fit? Well, I believe that a lot of you already know about the Scrum development. So you have this product owner, the Scrum Master, and the development team behind. What a good product market fit and rapid changes in lean product development guarantees is the UX designer. The UX designer will enable you to sketch, to prototype your ideas and directly check it with your customers. So you will be much faster than going into the round of developing a new product if you just prototype it with the UX designer and validate it with your customer than if you just do it by yourself, or if you just go into the programming and always wait for the results of the next sprint. So what can you do in order to get this product market fit? Well, behind design thinking, which is just a start, is a simple idea. It's basically the idea of stepping back from a problem and asking the right question. Not how can we build it right, but rather how can we build the right it. So what does this mean? What kind of tools do we have behind it? Well, there are lots of tools, and I would like to just today briefly introduce some of them. So first of all, you need a market watch. What is changing in the market? With Corona, it changed within a week. So you need to be very much aware on what you're basically going to watch. The second, for the target audience definition, is a persona. So you could either define user persona or buyer persona. So this might be different, especially if you're working in the B2B field like I'm doing. What else do you need, or which else tools could you take in order to successfully develop a product? Well, in order to define the customer needs, you can define the jobs to be done. So what are the basic needs which needs to be fulfilled for your customer? You can define the empathy map. You can define the customer journey within which you're basically going to build your system or your product. And based on this, you have the hypothesis building. Hypothesis building, there are many tools, just taking out some of them, like the point of view, like the importance versus satisfaction metrics, product scoring, and value proposition. Well, today we just have 20 minutes time, so there is not much time to completely elaborate all of them. So that's why we decided to take one very crucial, one key topic out of there, which is the customer journey mapping. So how did we do the customer journey mapping for our customers, for our specific target groups? Well, what we did is we used Miro. Miro is an amazing tool. It's just wonderful for collaboration and working together on a whiteboard. So what we did there, you see it on the left, we mapped the customer journey. So what is the customer doing before, during, or after the process, before using the product or before purchasing? We defined moments of truth in this, and we did this collaboratively. We used this Miro whiteboard tool even within customer interviews. We changed the ideas behind it, and we basically used it in order to define our moments of truth and build further hypotheses and the system on top. So this is where we are going over to Ollie. So now we are coming to the second part, to the development and to the testing. And Ollie is going to introduce you how you can do this.
All right, thank you very much. I will take over now. After the first part of design thinking, I will jump into now the lean phase and also the agile phase, bringing us into the infinity loop. Always the same question, we had it already from John Dorot, is with what should you start? And we always assume that we start with the why and not with the what. There's a great method of philosophy by Simon Sinek who did that, this golden circle. So you should start with the why. So why do you want to do that? What is the problem? Then think about how you can do that. And finally, what you're going to do. And we took that. I will show you one dedicated example in our company, what we did. And we started with the why. To go into that, we need to understand a bit what is our company about and where are the problems. So where's this crucial why where we have to start. So GetNow is an online grocery marketplace here in Germany. And we have the following business flow or our business model. The users go actually to getnow.com and they can buy there everything about their daily needs, grocery products, food, and everything they need. They will buy it online, put it into their basket, and click checkout and buy that. What we will do then, we don't have a warehouse. We have nothing. Honestly, we are an asset light model. That means we have pickers at dedicated stores which will do the shopping process. They will take a cart, simplified, go into the shop, pick your stuff, choose the best products, go through the cashier and do the checkout. And then we will put it into nicely boxes, which are either for frozen stuff, for fresh and cool stuff, or for dry stuff. And then we also don't have an own parcel service. We rather have an external parcel services which are doing the shipping for us, and they will bring it then to the customer. This can be done either by home delivery, bring it to a home, by parcel delivery, or we're also starting with click and collect services. And if you look at that process, we have one crucial problem, which is, or which was in the end of last year, the problem of the picking process, which was actually pretty manually, and that was our biggest problem. And we need to find a solution for that, and I would like to show it to you in a bit. We started to build an MVP actually in 45 days. And my understanding for an MVP is what you see on the right-hand side. If you're thinking about an MVP, more of the problems are that you don't know how to start with, and you start too big, which leads you to the first line. If you're thinking about a car and you have actually the problem, you have to get from A to B. People are thinking, okay, of course you need a car and you have to build that. Means you have to start with the tires, have to build a chassis, have to put a roof on that, maybe improve it a bit, that it's driving nicely, and then you have the final product to solve the problem to get from A to B. But there's another approach. Take the second one, which is getting from A to B. You can do that by your foot, which is the most simple one, but you need to have it somehow automated. So use a skateboard. This is also solving your problem. You come from A to B much faster, but you get an improvement, right? Second iteration would be then you can learn, does it work with the skateboard or not? And you can start to improve it. Maybe a handlebar on that is great and a scooter comes out. And then evolve it further to a bicycle, maybe a scooter, and finally come to the car. But during that journey, you have a lot of experiences and you learn your customer. And this is also our assumption here. So we were thinking, what is the happy path and what we should do to improve our biggest problem? And I always say happy path is a great scenario we have to start with. So think about what is the initial first customer journey, the first floor, the first flow to get your customer totally happy. So, and if we look at the GetNow example, as I said, we have a dedicated order and we have to do now the shipping and the picking in the metro. So honestly, and this is the left image you're seeing, that was where we come from, paper and pen. So we had a list with a shopping list, and our picker went into the store and went into the store around to collect all the products, put it into the boxes you see on the image, and have to put a checkbox on that paper to say, okay, I found it, I put it into the basket, or no, it's not there, I need a replacement product. So he wrote what was the replacement product, or it's not available at all. So we had to strike it through, and we had to somehow have another manual approach how to fix that afterwards with the correct invoice. So our first thing was to solve that problem and to find a solution for that. What we did, we definitely defined our happy path scenario and wanted to transform that into an application. So what we built was a really first MVP, which is doing the following. You have a device, you see that on the right-hand side. This is a bit of a special device because it has a QR code scanner or barcode scanner in it, so you can scan products. On the second thing is you have the list of products from that dedicated order. And the picker in that case can see, okay, I need that product, and he can directly scan it and check, is it the right one or not? Moreover, we integrated, let's say, the ways how he should went through the metro or through the supermarket. And this helps to improve how to run through that supermarket and to improve the times he needs for doing all that shopping. And we built that in about 45 days and could directly use it in the location. So we had one location where we tried it out and did that move from the paper and pen scenario to that app supported scenario, which worked really great, but we got constantly and direct feedback from our users and also from ourselves to get that into the flow. But we solved the problem because we got rid of this paper and pen process and we improved the process a lot. Based on that, we were going deeper into, okay, how can we stabilize this product and the application? Of course, it's a newly developed application. It's crashing several times. So we had the second phase, we had to stabilize it, that it works smoothly. So we get rid of the most common support cases, and also that maybe the app is crashing when it's loading. So we had to get rid of that. So we took the second phase to stabilize it and also to learn how the people are interacting. So we gave it to the pickers and trained them and learned how they are using that. So for example, we integrated 2 functionalities which were never touched and never used because we were thinking they want to use it, but they never did. So we did that phase of stabilizing and learning and to improve that thing. And honestly, this is the step where we are currently and right now. We are in that full infinity loop John Robert showed you before, that we are learning from the customer and now we are integrating new functionalities. In that case, here in that example, we are now on the next, let's say, evolution step, which means that we are splitting up the orders into so-called zones. So you can imagine in a supermarket, we have dedicated zones, fresh products, frozen products, dried products, drinks, and all the beverages. So you can think about to put that people into that zones so they start picking there. And they got experts in that. They know where every product is and they get much faster. So we were thinking about how can we integrate this zone picking process. And you see that, for example, here. Again, we started with a very simple approach. So you can choose the zones where you want to jump in. And on the right-hand side, you have the same view, you have the same functionality, but you just see, okay, this is from customer A and this is from customer B. And that is one example of a new functionality we integrated here, and also learn from the customer and from the user how he's interacting with that and what is working and what is not. And in these iterations, we are continuing. And honestly, this is also how we are pretty flexible and pretty fast to adapt to these crazy times we mentioned in the beginning. So we were able to change the product a bit, depending on also our services increased a lot due to Corona because nobody wanted to go shopping anymore. So we had to get deeper into that. And we're lucky that we had the second phase of stabilizing it, that this product works, let's say 99.9% smoothly and without any errors. From that, one more thing I like to mention is how we did this communication in those crazy times. I guess most of you here in the audience know what is Slack. And we use Slack, I always call it as a central hub. For me personally, I don't use emails anymore. I like to use Slack because I have all of that communication in one central hub. And we also use that very much during that crazy time. We have dedicated channels for different products, for different projects, but also for different support cases, where we have directly the correct people together. And depending on who is targeted, he can answer, or let's say the follow-up person can answer. So we have a constant flow and we don't have information lags because all the communication is centered in that channels and in that groups. Secondly, we have automation, and automation is key. So we have, for example, simple automations integrated in Slack, which helps us to monitor processes if they are working up and running or not. Also automations concerning, let's say, Gyro integration with Slack, which helps us to improve the process and to create, for example, an incident in Jira, which goes to the dev team. So we were using that, and I would like to share next with you some learnings out of the time using that communication platform. Honestly, you could also use Microsoft Teams. There might be some other ones which go in the same direction, but I personally really love and like Slack. It's a great tool. So what are our learnings from using that? First part, our first learning is always try to use a channel communication. I know before there was always, let's say, person-to-person communication. I want to have something from person A, so I write him. Or I want to inform person B, so I'm going to write him. But this is totally wrong. In that times, you need to have a cross communication and you have to inform other people as well. So use the channels which are dedicated for the projects or products, and all the other people can read it. They can also just scan it, but they are aware of the problems, of the situation, what is changing, what has to be announced. And if you want something from other people, just tag them. And then they know, okay, I want something from that person or from the other person. So this is learning one, use channel communication. Second one is use guidelines and use correct channels and groups. So think about how to structure your team, your company, and put that into that communication hub, but then use it correctly. Make an owner of a channel who owns that and can say, okay, this is correct here or this is not correct here. And think about and elaborate what is working, what is not working. But if you found the right places where to share information, it works really well. And it doesn't matter if you are in the office, if a part of your team is in home office, the other one's in the office, or totally distributed all over the world. Third one is define simple usage guidelines. What I mean is do a separation of how to use Slack in your company. For example, what we do in several channels is we use reactions, which is emojis as a feedback. So for example, thumbs up is great, that's cool. The eyes are, okay, I'm investigating that. The green checkbox is, okay, it's solved, for example. But this helps us to give really fast feedback. You don't have to write, you just have to put that emojicon there, and the other person knows, okay, you read it, you did something, or you solved it already. So there are different usage guidelines, but define them, communicate them, and then live them. This helps us and helps you to solve the problems and solve that situation in crazy times. So let's review our thoughts. And this is John Robert pops in and will take over the first part.
Thank you very much, Ali. Well, first of all, what do we keep from today? So first, and I think this is very, very crucial, is challenge the need. First, ask yourself, who is your customer and what has been changed? So what is probably changing in the customer's mind and is redefining his need and basically also your product? This leads to the second point, rethink your value proposition. So if the customer has been changed, your product must do as well. So, and how can you change your value proposition? Well, live the lean method. First of all, use the expertise of cross-functional teams. We just mentioned it's not only about the Scrum team or development team, it's also about the designer, the UX designer, the UI designer. Whoever is designing your product could be crucial for you and will be crucial for the success of your product. And make the process flow and integrate lean tools. We just mentioned customer journey maps, we mentioned personas, so there are many others which you can use in order to guarantee a good product market fit.
And finally, this is what I can always recommend from a startup, build your MVP. Slice it down, start with an MVP, but slice it down to a small MVP. Don't make the big car, make the small skateboard and try to build that, and then analyze and consume the feedback. And then the second one is start doing it. Don't make conceptions for years, start using it with that feedback and use new ways of work. Try out new tools, new functionalities, and always try to automate your workflows and try to improve yourself to get better, faster, and that you don't have to do so much manually.
Well, if you want to stay in touch with us, you can either email us, so we just mentioned our emails here, or you can connect via LinkedIn. So it's very simple, linkedin.com. Oliver X1, yeah?
Exactly, that's mine.
And linkedin.com/in/jrfridge. We're very happy to stay in touch with you. We hope that this was insightful for you and you learned a lot.
Thank you very much and have a great rest of the online conference. Looking forward for the discussion and Q&A session in Slack afterwards. Thank you very much.